Not like when I was there at Play Day, when I'd always get a participation ribbon. Hey, George, thanks for showing up. Not even a finish, because I didn't finish. I'd usually barf halfway down the road. But when you win a gold, those moments seem to stay in your memory forever. Ben Johnson won a gold in 1988, mind-blowing. We all know how that turned out, but regardless, for the moment, it was mind-blowing. And for the next few years, you got the sense that the entire country wasn't really embracing that part of our legacy. Then 8 years after that, everything changed. And what's so cool about pro sports is that it's a game that's played within millimeters and inches and in just tenths of seconds, right? Everything changed for Canada in less than 10 seconds. And the guy who restored our faith and our pride was Donovan Bailey. Donovan just went into the Canadian Sports Hall of Fame. Donovan Bailey in a moment. Here's his bio. When I say the name Donovan Bailey, chances are this is what you think of.
Here comes Bailey, he's got it! 9.84, a world record for Donovan Bailey and a gold medal!
The 1996 Olympic Games in Atlanta, Georgia, 9.84 seconds at the time, the fastest legitimate 100 meters in history. And for nearly 3 years, Donovan was the world's fastest man. So how did he get there? Well, let me tell you. Donovan was born in Jamaica, came to Canada with his mom when he was about 13 years old, and settled in a place called Oakville, just outside of Toronto. Now, Donovan ran track as a teenager, but his first love was the hoops, so he played basketball in high school and in college, and he graduated with a business degree. Then, 1990, everything changed. Donovan was watching the Canadian Track and Field Championships, and he saw people he beat back in high school. So he thought, what? I can do this. He decided to get serious about sprinting. And just 6 years later, only 6, Donovan won 2 Olympic golds in the 100 meters and the 4x100 meter relay. Of course, when you're the world's fastest man, someone's always out to try and take your title. Enter American sprinter Michael Johnson. And at the time, he was the king of the 200 meter and started saying he was the fastest. So in 1997, they decided to have the score to settle it all. The two went toe-to-toe at the Skydome in Toronto in a 150-meter race. Winner is the fastest in the world. Who do you think left with the bragging rights? Well, of course, it was Donovan.
I think what he should do is we should run this race over again so he can kick his ass one more time.
So in 2001, he decided to retire, got back into the business world, and started something called the Donovan Bailey Fund, which offers financial help to amateur athletes in Canada. Donovan Bailey. Good to see you, Donovan. Good to see you, man. All right. You don't strike me as the kind of guy that sits around on YouTube all day watching his old races. So what's it like to see all your old races back?
You know what? Yeah, anytime I do any charity functions or any programs, that's probably when I get a chance to watch it. I guess because it was my job, I don't really look at it as, you know, I don't need pointers right now because I'm old and fat and retired.
You're not running anymore?
No, there's no chance of that.
But wait a second. So we all know that it's, you know, if you were to run 100 meters today, would you do it in 10:2, or would it be like 17 seconds?
You know what? I don't know. I think that I've been asked that question a ton of times because I guess people want to know.
Yeah.
If from muscle memory alone, I would tear something and wouldn't finish the race.
Yeah.
That's what would happen.
See, or would you fake it like Michael Johnson did?
I'm not a faker.
You're not a faker. Hall of Fame twice as an individual athlete and as a team athlete with the relay team. Is there a difference for you in either one?
Yeah, well, huge. I mean, I think that, like my career, individually, the infrastructure that my parents created was that if I was going to do something, I better get it done right, and I better be my best at it, and they stuck to that. Individually, I expected to do good things, and individually, I expected that I was going to, you know, do good things as I did. The relay obviously takes working with a couple of guys. And with Bruni and Glenroy and Robert and Carlton and, you know, the tons of guys that's been part of our relay program, it was great for the relay team because you know, when we got inducted to Hall of Fame, it was a special time. You know, I know what Bruni's dreams were, I knew what Glenroy's dreams were, I knew that all the guys, the relay team essentially is of 4 individual men who want to run really fast, and when we come as a team. especially representing Canada and you know, be champions at every level. We're the #1 team in the world for 6 years in a row. So, you know, being inducted to Hall of Fame with those guys was probably extra special because they all didn't achieve their individual goals, so it was nice. It was
Sure. What were you, 22 years old when you started?
Yeah, I was 22.
22. Look, you know, when I was 22 years old, I knew for a fact I was never going to win the Stanley Cup. But what the moment when you're 22 and you look at somebody and think, I could win a gold medal, why not?
You know, it's funny. It wasn't. I don't think it was that clear. It wasn't that clear. I mean, I think that I was working in Toronto, and I was just burnt out. I just wanted to get away, and track and field was definitely a place.
But you weren't just working, man. You had a Porsche. You had it all laid out. You had success.
I was working in corporate Canada, and yeah, I was.
You were maintaining.
I was doing all right. I was doing all right, but I was burnt out. I mean, I'm someone that I only have one switch. It's on, or it's off. And my switch was fading, you know, so I was getting burnt out, long hours, a lot of clients, and so I just wanted to get away. So track and field was just sort of like the elimination thing. I wanted to go and, you know, just kind of, you know, do something, exercise my brain and my body, and it kind of gravitated to that because there's something that I'd done from when I was very young, and I knew it was good, and also I knew that I met the right people at the right time too.
I think the sport itself, you know, went through a big transition. It was funny watching Usain Bolt run. I mean, you watched him run. That was an unbelievable race. He ran all of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
He ran 80 meters.
You know what? I think that in North America we don't really get the concept of track and field or how huge it is globally. And you have to understand that how special Usain is. Usain is like 5 times Tiger Woods. Like he's one of those guys. He was born. He's 6'6". And well, you saw the times he ran. I mean, you know, you're at the highest level in 3 events, and you break world records in all of them, man. Yeah. So I mean, he's one of those special kids, and every time I see him, just one of those guys I appreciate.
But it's funny though, during the Olympics, right? The 100-meter dash was always the marquee event.
Right.
But during the Olympic Games, and it was all, and for a while, rightly so, Michael Phelps. And Michael Phelps, what he did was fantastic and fine. But you look at Usain Bolt, and I thought, wow, man, they should be walking you on water. Because that was the marquee event, and this was the Olympics where I thought, why didn't the 100-meter dash get the attention that it normally would have when there was such a special athlete there?
Well, I mean, it's the same reason why the 100-meter didn't get the special attention in Atlanta. I mean, it's the same situation. You know, Michael Phelps, American, and Mark Spitz had set the bar, obviously, for him to go and get it. No one's ever done what Usain Bolt's done, and obviously I'm quite biased where I feel that, and I'm not the only one who feels this way. When you win the 100 meters, especially if you break the world record, you're the king of the games.
Yeah.
There's no other event and no other athlete that can match that. So I think for me, I think that Usain obviously is the king of the games and probably rightfully so, should deserve the title and should get it.
And if he only looked like he tried for 80 meters, does that mean the next Olympics he's going to kill that record?
Well, you know what? Well, there's next track season.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, I hope so. I mean, he just turned 22 in August. He's young. You have to understand, in the 100-meter finals in Beijing, he has the most improvement to make of all 8 athletes that were there.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he can get stronger. Technically, he has to work. He has to work to get more technically sound. He has to work on the phases of his race. So it starts, acceleration. He is the one with the most work, and he just ran 69. So he has the potential to do things that are inhuman. When
you watch a guy like that, and now that you don't race, do you get an itch, thinking, man, I wish I could be out there?
No, not at all. I mean, I think that you know, my transition period, you know, was 1999. I mean, it was when I was retiring, and you know, I was you know, I got voted the athlete of the decade of the '90s, or sprint of the decade of the '90s. So everyone I met in my prime, I didn't step back from anybody. I challenged everyone, and I beat everyone. So, you know, I mean, that was my time then. Right now, I mean, I'm a huge fan. I mean, working for CBC in Beijing and the other networks, you kind of understand that I'm a fan. I mean, I get out there and